Coach, what were your first impressions of Jack Sanborn, and what do you think he's meant to this defense in his short time with the Cowboys?
Yeah, Jack's a guy that's always been with us before, super instinctual, sees it really well post-snap, key diagnosis well, and then just his leadership. I think he's great with the young guys, and obviously his playing experience being in this system has helped a lot of the guys along the way.
Shemar. Was there a specific play in a game or a practice that you saw that made you think, man, this guy could be a real leader in the middle linebacker role?
Honestly, it came in rookie minicamp. Just him seeing polars, keying, diagnosing things, seeing the difference between play action pass and what a run is. So I just think his football instincts immediately, just the first weekend we had him 3 years ago, really caught our attention.
Shamar James is a guy we've seen take some first-team run.
Yeah.
You usually don't see that from a fifth-round rookie sometimes. What have you seen from him early on in his time in the NFL that allows him to get there?
Yeah, it's a lot of the same stuff we saw on his college tape. You know, we talk about linebackers. We talk about quickness, instincts, and strike. Shamar's quick. He's got really good instincts, and he likes to hit. And those are the three qualities we look for. And honestly, you know, him taking first-team reps, but we've done, I think, a really nice job as a staff, just kind of rotating guys in different spots. Because at the end of the day, you want to simulate it like it's going to be in season. And then during the season, things are going to come up. Guys are going to have to play at different spots with different, playing with different guys. He's not always just going to be playing with Damone or Jack. He could be with K9. So really, we're just trying to rotate guys so they can get comfortable playing with other people.
At Florida, it seemed like sometimes he just wouldn't see things. Maybe he'd overshoot something. Do you feel like he's seeing things better and slowing down for him now?
Yeah, and really it has to do with your eyes. I think he's doing a good job with his eyes and his keys. And, you know, you have a whole phrase, see a little, see a lot. So it's just getting his eyes right. And pre-snap, where's his eyes going and how's it help him get to his responsibility?
When you're missing the time for the birth of his child, how do you kind of balance working him back in, his workload, what he needs to take on to kind of...
Yeah, so we had a couple of guys miss some time with that, and, you know, it's a progression. You know, so when you miss a week, there's a ramp-up period. So we kind of adjusted his reps when he came back. You know, he didn't take the full amount of reps like he did before he left. So the last couple of practice, we had a little ramp-up session for him. But now I think he's kind of getting his feet back underneath him. And, you know, a lot of credit to K9. He came back into training camp in great shape. And, you know, he had a wrist surgery at the end of the season last year. And he really worked himself into great shape to start training camp. And you can really see it in his movements. He's moving really well and really happy with where he's at.
He's obviously a veteran. You kind of know at least a little bit of what he's all about. But does it change evaluations when he has this kind of break in between, or do you just, you know, kind of like sort of ramp it back up and then?
No, I think it's great because what it does is it gives other guys opportunities. And again, like we talked about earlier, it kind of replicates what happens sometimes during the season when guys get injured or something happens, other guys have to step up. So I thought it was really, you know, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Like guys have to step away for whatever reason, whether it's injury or something personal. Other guys have to step up, so it gives other guys more opportunities.
When you're bringing in somebody like Jack, who you've got familiarity with, to help these other guys adjust to a new system, is that an explicit conversation? Hey, I want you, or is that sort of understood that he knows?
No, honestly, I think it just depends on the person. Some guys are more comfortable doing that. I think Jack's really comfortable helping other guys, sharing information. And look, at the end of the day, like, it's a really close room. The guys want to, you know, help each other. We're all in this thing together, although there's competition for spots. I think the way Jack's approached this and just kind of, you know, he's like a second coach for us just because, again, he's been in the system. He's seen a lot of the plays. So he's a great resource to have.
Speaking of second coaches, we've seen DeMarvion basically shadowing Flus all the time when he's calling plays. What do you think he's getting out of that experience?
No, it's great. You know, we always talk about coaches 3-second feedback. You know, so after the snap, hey, what's the feedback? And then you got to get to the next play. So I think for Demo, it's almost like getting reps in there when you're not practicing. So even though he's not practicing, he's getting the feedback from the coaches instantly. So it's like the cycle of a snap. You get the feedback, and it's the next play. So I think for him, just to stand there with Coach Flus and get the information, get the feedback right away, and also it's a great way for him to see how Flus is going to call it. So he's standing next to the coordinator. He's getting feedback, and, you know, I'm really excited to get him back, and it's great. Just the leadership he has, he's locked in even though he's out practicing in meetings, in practice. Just a great teammate and a great leader.
How do you think Flus's experience in Chicago as the head coach helped him evolve? How have you seen him evolve? Maybe just grow as a coach, as a mind, just with
You know, I think it's always interesting when you see, you know, I've been with Flus for a while. You see him evolve from a position coach, which he was in Dallas, to a coordinator in Indy, to a head coach. Obviously, the responsibilities for a head coach are a lot different than being a coordinator or position coach. So I think it's really neat for him where he's just locked into just defense. And, you know, just like he's done every stop he's been, he's doing a hell of a job with the personnel, pushing the guys. And every day, you know, whether it's the install, just keeping it like even though it's practice, it's game-like. And so it's been pretty neat to see kind of the progression. And, you know, really excited for him to be in this position.
Do you sense more of a comfort just getting another opportunity to be a coordinator just after having an opportunity in Chicago?
Not really. No, to me, he's the same guy. And that's the beauty of Flus. He's pretty consistent in what he does, whether he's a position coach, a coordinator, or a head coach. He's the same guy every day.
Feels like you and Flus have had so much success with just about every linebacking core you've gotten, taking it to the next level. What do you feel like you guys do right in developing these guys and developing them into better players?
Well, I'll say we've had some pretty good players, right? So it's always players, right? So I give a lot of credit to those guys, whether it was Darius Leonard, Bobby Okereke, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds. Now we got, you know, K9, Sanborn. We've been blessed with some really good players, but, you know, I do think putting them in position to get closer to the ball, and to do that, it's where are their eyes, what are they looking at, what are the keys, what's the formation, what's the down distance. So all those little things before the snap, and all we're trying to do is get them an inch or two closer to making the play.
I'm sure you've been asked this question about Jack and Sean and all that kind of stuff, but not that there were similarities because you don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
Have you guys went to him and say, hey, this is what Sean did in this defense, even when you guys were in Chicago? Or to show Sean tape, I guess.
Yeah, I think we always kind of try to show crossover film with other linebackers doing it, different techniques. So whether it was Sean Lee, or, you know, you have Urlacher or Briggs or Darius Leonard or Bobby Okereke, I think it's always fun for the guys to see other players do it and use those techniques that we teach. So yeah, there's been some crossover.
Has Jack always been a guy that found the ball, like the ball finds him?
You know, it's funny because Jack.
I don't know how you explain that.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's funny because Jack was an undrafted free agent, and I was just talking to somebody just asked me about Jack, and, you know, when did you see it? And obviously you can see the college film, you can see a guy that's instinctive, but right away in rookie minicamp you could just see how fast he can diagnose, and that's really, you know, what does Jack do best? It's seeing the game, and it kind of slows down for him, and he just does a great job getting to the ball.
You told us when you got here the first time we talked to you that Marist was a guy you visited with.
Yeah.
And you really liked him beforehand. Now you've been around him. What have you grown to like?
Yeah, so he brings a unique skill set. I think Marist he's a really physical player. He's got long arms. He's got 34-inch arms and very good blitzer. So I do think he brings a unique skill set. He's got a really nice knack for punching the ball out too. And it's going to be fun. We get to use him in different ways, whether it's first, second down as a rusher, or third down as a rusher, or, you know, off the ball as a linebacker and coverage. I mean, he's got a really unique skill set.
And what's it like being back here?
It's awesome.
You know, being out here, being at the Star, things like, you know.
No, it's really
Wait a minute,
fun.
were you at the Star?
I was never at the Star,
Okay.
no. So obviously we were here for training camp. My first year we were in San Antonio in 11, and we came here 12 and 13. It's awesome. Like, this is always a place, and, you know, you always get, hey, where would you want to go back to? What organization? You know, not that I've been to every one, but this is always a special place for me. It's where I got my first job in the NFL, and before we had kids, my wife and I, we really enjoyed our time here, living here. We're both from the East Coast, so like moving to Texas was obviously a big adjustment for us. And, you know, we really fell in love with the state and the Cowboys and the organization. It's just a really good place. There's really good people here, ownership to administration to the scouting department. And what's neat for me is a lot of that, you know, is to stay consistent with Will and his staff, you know, Todd Williams, Jason McKay, and Gleber, Wansley. So, like, there's a lot of consistency in the organization, and it says a lot because it's a good place to be.
And obviously been at other spots for training camp.
Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Hard to beat. Practice field's right here, 2 grass fields, got the rooms right there. So, like, I mean, this is like, you can't beat this as a setup. So I love coming out here.
If the Cowboys weren't here, how many teams do you think would want to come out here?
I would say a lot. I mean, it's hard to beat this setup. You know, I think it breaks up the monotony of the season. Could be long, so it breaks up the season a little bit. I love coming out here, and I think it's really good for the team chemistry because the guys are all together. Everybody's kind of hanging out at night, hey, no complaints here.
Who would have complaints?
Yeah.
What do you like about Sanborn and what he's able to bring? He's a veteran guy, knows the system and all kinds of stuff.
So what he brings is a guy that is smart, he's detailed, he key diagnoses really well in the run of the pass game. And it's always, not that you have to do this, but it's always comforting when you can bring a guy that's been with you before, that understands the system, and, you know, whether it's certain plays or formations. Hey, coach, we saw this a couple years ago over so-and-so's team. It's kind of like this play. So you can have those kind of in-depth conversations because you have a little history together. But also what Jack does is he brings, you know, he's playing Mike linebacker right now, but for us in Chicago, he's played Will, he's played Sam, he's played like a big nickel spot. So he's a guy that, you know, has position flex, that's been able to move around because he knows the system and he's smart.
2 years ago, Damone had over 100 tackles. Last year, he didn't really play, but it seems like out here, he's kind of found himself a little bit.
Damone's taken a big step, and I think with Damone, it's always just being confident, and he's doing really well. Again, he's kind of like a guy that we've moved around a little bit in some different spots, and, you know, mentally he can handle that, and really excited about where he's going. He's doing a nice job.
So Will, Sam, what is he with you guys? Come on.
Right now, he's everything. He's playing all the different spots, and that's good because at the end of the day, you want to have your best guys out there. So you just don't want to pigeonhole a guy and say, hey, you're just this or you're just that. So that's the beauty of OTAs and training camp is you kind of move guys around, put them in different spots, and that's kind of like what we're doing. Really not just Damone, but all the guys.
What's your take on the skits or whatever you want to call it, that when the guys run through the bags that the coaches do? Like, how did someone come up with DT on the backboard, you know? And
you know what? I wasn't a part of those conversations, but I do like it. I think it's fun and exciting, and I think it gets the guys going in practice, right? It creates good energy for the guys. It's something different. It's entertaining. I think it gets the guys going. I think it's a great way to start the practice.
Are you still trying to figure out green dot other than Sanborn?
No, I
I
mean,
don't know if you say these are my guys when I go into the season now, or are you still trying to?
I think we're still kind of working through it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we have multiple guys that can do it, whether it's K9, Sanborn, Damone, and they all have experience doing it in practice. So, you know, I think it'll kind of work itself out as we go.
I don't know how many you can have during a game during the season. 2?
Yes.
Or can you? Right, it's only 2.
2, but only one can be on the field.
Right.
You
Right.
don't have 2 on the field.
Right, so you're trying to get, and if one of those guys gets hurt, say whoever, you have that flexibility where, hey, all
Switch
right,
helmets. Hey,
right.
get the
You know
green
what I'm
dot up.
saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's part of the reason what you're doing here.
yeah.
Is Liufau more of a Will Sam, or is he also in that mix of
He's in the
all
mix.
3 too?
All
Okay.
3 too. Yeah. So we've kind of moving around more Will Sam, but honestly, we're kind of moving guys around. You know, the room keeps getting better. You know, there's really good competition, whether it's Marist, Shamar James is doing a really nice job. He's stepping up. You know, obviously Damone's doing a nice job. So there's some really good competition, and you know, obviously Overshone's not here yet, but once we get him back, it'll feel really good about the situation.